Hello and welcome to another episode of the Company Spotlight on SMAC Network. I'm your host Quentin Smalls, and today we are in the West Boulevard portion of Charlotte, North Carolina with Mr. Jim's Pizza. It's been a staple of the Charlotte community for many years, and its foundings and its ownership have changed over the years. I'm here with Mr. Javon Williams, who is currently the owner of Mr. Jim's Pizza. Mr. Javon, how are you doing today?
I'm doing alright. How about yourself?
I'm doing well as I can be. So first off, if you want to tell the people, how did you get into the pizza business? What's your name? Where are you from? And how'd you get into the pizza business?
Okay. I'm Javon Williams. It initially started with my parents, Lizzie and Winston Williams. We owned a hair salon we've had for this point around about 45 years at this point. They initially tried to order a pizza here, and nobody wanted to deliver in this area, so that got the idea started within my parents to get into a pizza business. Ended up going to a franchise convention at the Merchandise Mart on Independence Boulevard at the time. They ended up checking out a couple different franchisees and different pizza corporations. We ended up settling on, picking Mr. Jim's Pizza. It's a franchise based out of Texas with only black franchisees out of it, and as far as we know, we're the only black owned pizza place in Charlotte, North Carolina. Started that in '99, in June of '99. Been family owned ever since. We've been here with its neighborhood stable at this point now. I've been 22 years, almost 23. And like I said, with the neighborhood pizza place.
So, are you strictly West Boulevard, or are you going to other parts of the uptown area?
Yeah, we do like a 5-mile radius. Pretty much covers all of uptown from where we're at. If you want a general estimate, if you know the area, from West Boulevard we go all the way up to Wendover Road in the Independence area, and then from here we also go all the way from here to 85 and off the North Graham Street, or 85 off 84 Road. We do it pretty much all the downtown and a good section of the west side. From our location, we even go all the way up to Tideville Road. It's a pretty large radius.
So, tell me about your origins. Where were you before you started doing the Mr. Jim's Pizza thing?
Before this, I was in college. I'm a graduate of Winston-Salem State University in Winston-Salem, North Carolina. I'm a graduate with a mass communication major. I was doing radio and television, to be honest with you. My parents started this my second year in college, and I've been working it ever since. And when I graduated, it was more beneficial, more efficient for me to come in directly. We had also to open a second location off North Graham Street at the time. So we had the original location that my brother and one of my cousins were running, and then me and another family member opened up the Graham Street location. We had that location for about a year, and shortly after that the initial recession hit. So we decided to restructure and consolidate all back into this one location and still be able to deliver to that same area. So, like I said, initially I was actually working for radio stations. I was looking into TV, but people say I have a voice for radio, so initially that was my route. But I'm here now. I'm an entrepreneur. I'm a pizza man.
That's good. Well, I'm actually a graduate of communication/journalism as well from Coastal Carolina University. So I kind of know the idea of wanting to be in like radio or TV. So how long has Mr. Jim's been in business? How long has this place been in business in Charlotte?
This specific location has been for 22 years now. 22 and a half at this point. And like I said, we've had the hair salon now for 45 years. And then the franchise as a whole, I want to say about 45 years. I got this 40th year shirt. Yeah. So the franchise as a whole 45 years, but this location 22 years.
Okay, that's good. And you mentioned the hair salon. How did that came into fruition? How did that came into it?
My father, he was a hairstylist by trade. He initially worked at GM Motors when we first got out of Livingstone College, and then he ended up going to hair school. I think it was called Beauty World at the time. And from there, which was the hair school, he was really working across the street from us in an old shopping center he worked from there. He noticed there's an old convenience store that was shut down. Got this location, bought this location, turned it into a hair salon, and began from there. And then, to be honest with you, since then, my brother, who went to North Carolina A&T, my brother Jermiles Williams, he went to hair school and is taking over that business, and now he runs our hair salon, and I run the pizza place, so it's pretty much a full family business right now.
That's good. Another question. During the COVID-19 pandemic, how are you guys able to stay financially sound? I mean, I know a lot of mom and pop small businesses, they have felt decline or they either shut down completely. So how you guys are still in business?
Just had to adapt and adjust on, I would start with the hair salon because that had to shut down completely.
Understandable.
That was a hit just in general because we couldn't do anything with that through the whole process until phase 2. But the pizza place, you would think immediately when it came, pickup and deliveries would just jump. But our location, in specific, we have a lot of hotels around us, a lot of business parks, call centers. All of those were shut down. So that first month was a drastic change. We ended up having to adjust hours. We're normally from 11 a.m. to 10 p.m. Monday through Thursday, and 11 to 11 on Fridays and Saturdays. We started going from 2 p.m. to 10 p.m. Monday through Saturday. I know I ended up having to start canvassing some of the apartments with extra flyers just to try to let them know we are still here, we are open, we are socially distanced. We're actually probably one of the better choices that we can just pick up and deliver. There's no sitting down. It was about at least a month and a half of that before things started to kind of tick over a little bit. Got a couple more calls. This hotel started getting more business. The people started to adjust to it a little bit more. So since then, we've been steadily trying to tick back into a regular state.
So the hair salon. So what about the hair salon? I know you mentioned that the first part of it, when it was on phase 1, it had to shut down completely.
Mm-hmm. Like I said, the hair salon has taken the biggest hit because we've lost stylists because of that. Throughout that time, either they had to move on to find other jobs just to be able to pay their rent. And good thing we did have the pizza place so we can help cover the rent and utilities, insurance that had to be paid whether we were making money or not. Like I said, my brother's still here and he's still keeping it going, but we're always looking for new stylists now. But it was definitely a hit because it was shut down.
So you have like 1 or 2 stylists, your brother and like a few other people? Is just him?
We had my brother and 3 other stylists, and now it's just my brother at this moment. And we're trying to get some other stylists back. Like I said, some stylists had to move on to working other jobs, just whether it was just a regular 9 to 5 just to keep a steady check coming in. Because like I said, legally they could not work here at all. So some of them may have did some from the house, but they had to find regular 9 to 5 jobs that were available during the pandemic.
Yeah, I know that's rough because I know a lot of people who were working, who had to work like barber shops, or any place that was supposed to be open, but then it got shut down. Yeah. So they had to work at home, 9 to 5, places they didn't think they would be, but they had to think, I gotta pay my rent, I gotta pay my insurance, so I have to do this. Okay, so when Mr. Jones first started, why was there so much a stigma about pizza delivery here in this location?
At the time, it used to be considered a high crime area. When we opened up, we didn't really see those problems. I mean, the area in itself was always still growing. The time we opened up, they hadn't had delivery in 15, 20 years before that. And mind you, there was other pizza places within delivery range. There's still those same locations couple of blocks away, but they were not delivering over here for 15, 20 years. When we first opened up, I can remember my first 4 or 5 set of drivers, they were coming back in talking about how people were taking pictures of them. Because they hadn't seen pizza delivery over here in years. I mean, literally pulling us to the side, taking pictures, holding the pizza. Like, I can't believe this. You know, this is back when it was Polaroids. They were shaking it and then you would see them in the house and it was just so surprised. So like I said, we're a staple. I actually met an alumni who went to Salon State with me years later after I graduated, met him in homecoming. We were just regular chit-chatting, and he told me he was born and raised on the west side. I said, yeah, well, you know, I own the pizza place over there, Mr. Jim's. And he was like, what? He said, I grew up on that. He said, I've known you since I was a kid. And he started naming off items on my menu. And I was like, yeah, but like I said, we're the neighborhood staple. People have grown up here with us.
Well, that's nice. Okay, so with Mr. Jim's, what do people say about the place that makes them want to come back?
Well, the main tagline I tell people is the crust. It's in the crust. It's the type, you know, pizza. You can get cheese, pepperoni everywhere. It's how our crust is made. I know people in the neighborhood like us because they know us. I mean, we're comfortable with. Like I said, most of the kids have grown up with us. We're the neighborhood pizza place, literally. I mean, even the homeless in the area, you know, they know me. They call me Mr. Jim. They come by, you know, they have a throwaway. I give it to somebody that canceled the order or something. I give it to them. So you know, it's the overall vibe of the pizza place, the food and the customer service.
That's nice. It's nice that you give to the homeless because I know several restaurants they've actually banned homeless people from even entering the restaurant, and I know from experience. So the hair salon before the pandemic, like how was it? Like how busy was it on a regular basis, and how busy was it between Mr. Jim's and the hair salon? Like
I said, the hair salon, and you got to put it in reference and time frames with them, because of spacing, and social distancing right now for general safety reasons, and not having so many people in the building at the same time. You went from going to having a client every 30 minutes, starting to get the process in every 30 minutes to one every hour. So you can imagine my brother himself would probably do 15 to 20 clients in one day. Now that's reduced to a solid maybe 10, 8 to 10, depending on what's getting done. So you can see that's a big drop. And then they've had to extend hours so they can work longer just to be able to fit more clients in. And then out of the pizza place, pandemic, after that first and second month, afterwards, after we got into it good, at this point we've started to pick back up, getting more back to regular pace. We've had a lot more walk-ins than normal. More people want for them to get out is to pick it up.
Okay. So, with Mr. Jim's, what is a typical day like, even before, during the typical day like for you guys?
Typical day, I myself probably get here about 9:30, 9:45, get the oven started, and maybe the dough mixing for the day, because we make our dough fresh every day. One of my drivers or inside employee will come in with me around 10, 10:30. We open up at 11. Usually from 11 to 2, 3:30, where it's the steady lunch rush. Whether it's delivery and pickup, we do tend to get a lot more pickups during the lunch hours. And then we have a down period, and from 5 o'clock on, which is from 5 to 10, maybe 5 to 11 is our evening rushes. We're pretty steady. I would say, you know, average 25, 30 orders a day easily. On the weekends, 45, 60. You catch a holiday weekend or something, you might get 80 orders that night, and I've been very appreciative. Like we work with a couple different companies, like community groups like Project Bolt and CMS, and they'll definitely do a lot of group orders here and there throughout the week. Like during throughout the school year, when the school year's in, they definitely, we work a lot with the CMS.
That's nice. So you say you have 45 to 60 like orders, but like what holidays you mean? Like I know you guys would probably close Thanksgiving and Christmas because you want to spend time with the folks.
Definitely Thanksgiving and Christmas, but it's usually I want to say it's not the holidays, the days before. Like the day before Thanksgiving, we are busy because nobody wants to eat Thanksgiving dinner. Everybody's cooking, so we're the call. If you think about it, people are all cooking all that night before, the day of. That night before, everybody's cooking and preparing for Thanksgiving, so we're busy before Thanksgiving, the day before Christmas, a couple days before Christmas, before regular cookout holidays. People call us because they're cooking the next day.
That's nice. So when we get back to the show, we'll be talking to Lizzie Williams, who's also a big provider of Mr. Jim's Pizza. We'll be right back on the Company Spotlight on the SMAC Network. And welcome back to the Company Spotlight here on SMAC Network. I'm here with Miss Lizzie Williams, who has a stake in both the hair salon here and Mr. Jim's Pizza. So how are you doing, Miss Lizzie?
I'm doing great, thank you.
You're welcome. So why did you want to start a hair salon / pizza business here? Why?
When we first started off, my husband and I are the original owners. I always told him that I was his best partner when he was trying to look for a hairstylist. So I went on the hairstylist school too. I went and got the cosmetologist license, even though I was an educator, and he had the hairstylist barber license. And so this was the first area that we invested in was to open the hair salon. My husband always wanted to be his own boss, wanted to own his own business, and so we married when I graduated from A&T, and then he graduated from Livingstone College, and when we moved here, he was working for Jermiles, GMAC, but he did that for 9.5 years, and he decided, well, I want to own my own business, and so that's when he went back to school. And so we got to the point of getting the hair salon going, and we're one of the first ones in Charlotte that had beauticians on this side, barbers on the other side. And my husband passed in 2008 from Agent Orange from military stuff. So that made some changes in our life, but before that happened, he ordered some pizzas. One day they just said they don't deliver to this area. So he said, well, you know what? Came home and said, I think I'm gonna own my own place. I said, well, you think we're gonna do? We don't know anything about pizzas. So that's when we started on the search for a franchise, because we knew they would train us then. And we wanted something different than the ones that was already here.
Mm-hmm. So what are your origins? Like, where were you before the hair salon? Where were you before the pizza?
Oh, I actually from Eastern North Carolina, both of us from a little area down between Goldsboro and Kinston, LaGrange, that area. And then, like I said, we left to go off to college, and from there I went to Greensboro to North Carolina A&T State University, and he went to Livingstone College, but he stopped in a couple of years and went in the military. So we married the last year that he had at Livingstone. And so from there, like I said, we moved here, and I went into the school system teaching, and then he went on to barbering school, and then from there.
Well, that's good. So, so where are you right now, like with the hair salon? Are you content with would you consider yourself successful?
I was able to hold on to everything for 30-some years, 30, 40 years, so I think we are successful. Because most people who go in business, they're lucky if they make it for 10 years. And so what we did was we decided that we would invest in this building and go ahead and instead of renting, we decided we would purchase it. So after the second year, we were able to start buying it. And so after we paid it off, which was in the 1997, 98 area, that's when the idea of adding on to this building to put the pizza place in the front so we get more out of the property over here. And then, like I said, as we looked into owning, we did go to the pizza franchise, and then from there, I was able to do some traveling, and because I'm out of school during the summer, and so I was able to go to Texas and look at some of the other pizza places and see how they were. And whenever my little piece of paper kind of stretched up what the design was, and we ended up being probably one of the pizza franchise he had that looked really good. And for about 10 years, we were featured on the front page of Mr. Jim's Pizza on the franchise page. We're store number 77, so we weren't the first franchise he had that we bought from him, but we were the only black franchise, and for many years I was the only black female too. I served on the board for about 5 years.
That's great. That's great. And if you weren't, did you think you would be, a owner or a franchisee for Mr. Jim's Pizza? Did you think that you would be doing that?
I don't think my goal from the beginning in life was to do that, because I wanted to be a teacher, and I was a teacher. And then I was, I'm an educator by heart, and 3 years later I'm back in school getting a master's, and I get a master's in counseling. And then I go back again, and 2 years later, and I get supervision. And I go back again, and I get principalship. And so I moved from one job, from teaching to counselor to assistant principal. And so I was determined to retire as an educator. But I'm one of those who had a lot of energy, and so I did a lot of things. It was like I worked 2 or 3 jobs practically all my life, because I'm also a very active organization person who volunteer, person who's known in the community. So a lot of the things that I interact with also brought business for us. And so then I was involved in making sure my 2 sons were educated, and involved in Jack and Jill and stuff like that, so that they would be exposed to everything that they could be exposed to in Charlotte.
Understandable. So what do you think, like, the future holds for Mr. Jim's? I know you can't plan ahead, especially during the pandemic. So what do you think the future holds for both the hair salon and Mr. Jim's?
Well, I look for it to be something I can pass on down to my children, and that they can hold on to. So in all my planning, I look at what would make it easier on them to keep up everything, to run the business, to take care of their family, to pass it on to their children, or to do whatever they can to live successfully.
Do you work more with the hair salon, or do you work more with the pizza place?
Actually, I work more with pizza place, but I did with the hair salon a whole lot from the beginning. I got it pretty stable. But I have more payroll to deal with in the pizza place, so I have a payroll company that I make sure the payroll go off to them, make sure we have the money that we need, and pay all the bills, I write the checks, trying to make their life a little bit easier so they have some more time at home with their family too. Because now I'm home by myself, my husband is deceased, so I have time to do those things, and I did it even when my husband was living. I handled pretty much the paper part and made sure that whatever need for income tax and sales tax and all that was taken care of. Yeah, when I walk in here, whatever I see Lee doing, if it's sweeping the floor or wiping the counter, then that's what I do.
So you do the aesthetics, you like the cleanup. If you see something that isn't looking right, you do that?
I will take care of it. It's nothing too good for me to do, even though I try to make sure, and they do it too, they keep it up. And I ask, you're doing this, do I need to hire somebody to come in to do this? So they do pretty good about keeping it up. It's just that, anything that needs to replace, then I try to work on that, because now after 22 years in the pizza place, there's some things I see that needs to take care of. I need to do the flooring again. I want to change some things on the wall. I had to do the sign over again. I mean, there's just certain things you have to do on a regular basis. So I kind of help call and find out who this is. Other Javon do a lot of that too, but he always check back with my mama. You think this is great? I have this person coming over here, meet him over here. I don't come over here as much as I used to because I've had some medical problems, and so I don't come as much as I used to. But there was a time I did just a week being over here.
Okay. On a side note, I see that you have on a Delta Sigma Theta face mask.
Oh yes.
Did you pledge while you were in undergrad, or did you do like a alumni chapter?
I did undergraduate. December was my 50th year as a Delta. 50, 50th year.
So you were both an undergrad and the alumni chapter?
Yes, I'm active in the alumni. I haven't missed a year since I made Delta. And I'm a member of the Crown Jewels Links here. I'm a member of the A&T Alumni, Democratic Women, Los Amigos Incorporated right now, serve as their president. I mean, I just keep on naming. There's so many organizations I'm in.
So like you said, you're very active in
Very active. Very active. I serve on boards, even at that West Boulevard Traffic Richard Wild here. I served on Mr. Jim's Pizza Board. I've served, oh God, I can go on and on. My resume is like 20 pages.
Okay, well, I'm not trying to make you pick sides, but who did you think was going to be the most successful son of Javon or you?
Well, I think both are successful in their own rights. Jermiles actually studied at A&T too. He was in business major, and then he went for the hair, and he's good. He's really, they like the day when he could open up and let people make appointments in 2 hours. His calendar was built for 2 weeks, and he's charming. He's just very good. Javon is a manager who, both of them like to be in charge, so both of them going to keep the business going, and they work good together. Even as growing up, they got along great. I was glad to see my two sons be friends, and I never had to pull them off each other to disagree and get mad with each other or whatever. They worked well together, so you see that they can walk from one end to the other and can talk and carry on conversation, playing and dreams. My husband told him the last few years that he was alive. I'm through dreaming with what I want in life. I need for you all to dream it. And I tell them all the time, I just need for them to take care of what they got. This will be generation of wealth passed on from one generation to the other.
Jermiles Williams of Exclusively Yours Hair Design.
Exclusively Yours Hair Design.
Thank you. Now, why did you want to start a hair salon here in West Boulevard?
Well, my dad owned the hair salon before I got in here. When I was young, he taught me how to cut hair before I was even in junior high. And back then, junior high started at 6th grade. About 5th grade, I was cutting everybody in the neighborhood and just doing hair.
So at 5th grade, you were cutting hair for your dad?
No, my dad taught me how to cut hair. I cut hair for everybody in the neighborhood as well as when I was in high school and college. I did hair as well.
So that was a little bit like a side hustle for you while you were in school?
Yes, yes.
Okay, so what made you want to take over the hair salon after your dad?
Well, they always told me I was going to do it either way, when I went to hair school or not. But I seen him make money. He did pretty well when I was growing up. I thought I was rich. Probably wasn't rich, but he made good money, so I decided I'd go on in there.
Okay, before the pandemic, how was business at the hair salon? How was business?
I'm extremely busy all the time. I'm one of the beauticians that stayed booked for a week or two, so I was pretty busy.
And after the pandemic,
Same way.
And I know because your brother was mentioning that it's just you and and you know y'all trying to bring in some more stylists, trying to help out.
Oh, yeah.
So is it just you right now, or do you have like another person to try to help you out?
Right now it's just me. The beauticians I had before the pandemic, they were coming out of school and they had a temporary license, and since the pandemic's going on, they couldn't finish the process of getting their regular license. So I do have one other beautician, but mainly just me.
Okay. Did you think you would Did you think you would ever own a hair salon and just be the main beautician?
Kind of, sort of. I mean, my dad owned one, so yeah, I know I would be eventually owning something and be the main beautician. I'm always trying to be the best, so yeah, I expect to be the main beautician.
So you and your brother don't have like no beef between y'all trying to see who makes the most money, who gets the most business?
No, we don't. No, we try to take care of each other.
I guess I can say, how is it important to the neighborhood for the hair salon? How is this important to the neighborhood?
Man, it's sending positive vibes. I mean, it's not, I guess, infecting it right personally, but us being here, we've took care of the people in the neighborhood. The neighborhood knows it's just a good spot, I guess.
So have you done other parts of Charlotte? Have other people came in? Or is it strictly like West Boulevard?
No, I do hair for people all over Charlotte, Salisbury and surrounding counties and stuff.
So that would be all for the company spotlight show today. I'd like to thank Miss Lizzie and Mr. Javon Williams of the Mr. Jim's Pizza Place and the boutique for letting me come in and interview them and talk more about their business and seeing why it is the neighborhood leader for pizza in the West Boulevard area. This is Quentin Smalls. You have been watching the company spotlight on SMAC Network. Have a blessed one. Have a blessed day. And Black Lives Matter.